I'd like to ask you about your experience of the foundations course, laying the foundations, starting with how it was before you took the course. So, how was your love life? How was your dating life? What were your experiences of dating?
Before I took the foundations course, I was at a point of really not knowing where to turn. I'd come out of a very, very great, painful experience, a dating experience, which had really floored me. And I just didn't know what way to turn. I felt like, yet again, I had found myself in a situation where I hadn't had the happy ending that I believed was out there, or um feeling like that once again things had turned out really, really badly in a relationship. And I was starting to become aware that there must be some patterns, but I had no idea what those patterns were. I didn't understand why this felt like it kept happening to me. And I was just kind of at a relationship rock bottom where I felt I really needed support. I needed help because I was in a lot of pain emotionally, and I didn't know what to do and how to move forward out of this space
Mm,
in that I was feeling.
mm. And so you decided to take the foundations course. Was there anything that drew you to the course or drew you to me? Why did you choose that?
I chose the course after following your work for quite some time. So I was already aware of some of the work you were doing, but was kind of hadn't decided whether or not that was the right thing for me at the right time. But I knew I was aware of your work. And so I was already following you and seeing what you were doing. And it was having a discovery call with you where I wasn't sure whether to work one-to-one or whether to do the course. But it was during the discovery call that I realized how much very quickly on the discovery call, you just opened my mind to what has actually been going on my whole life. And so in a very quick discovery call, I knew that you were immediately the person to work with, because in the discovery call alone, I had so much value. And we identified so much that had been impacting me my whole life. So the trauma that I was carrying, the childhood trauma, and understanding that in just that short call of how that had a knock-on effect, was really, really profound. So it was then deciding what path that I take. And as your course was coming up, the foundations course, this felt like it was a really good, good timing to take that course and starting that journey.
Brilliant. And what was your experience of the course itself? Any highlights? How did you find it?
The course was a really lovely blend of community and support. I felt very held from the start. There was lots of actions to do, exercises to do. It never felt too much. All the videos felt manageable, and it felt like I could work on the course when I had time in my week, and when I was able to give myself time at weekends to work through some of the tasks and actions, which were really, really supportive. And then with the group calls, it created this sense of community and guidance. So that was really, really helpful, as we all felt very open to share and be guided through the course.
Mm, brilliant. And what has changed? What changed for you? What has changed for you? You described earlier a relationship rock bottom. How are things now?
So I'm very much on this journey of understanding my past, and what has been really amazing is that I've seen so much of how the patterns have been through my life and the patterns of my relationship choices. I feel very much like I'm on a path of deep healing. I have, since we've worked together, I've been in therapy. I've been working with a trauma therapist. I'm working on ways to heal my CPTSD. And yeah, what's been really beautiful is that this journey isn't now about meeting somebody else, which as I thought it would. It's about meeting myself. So that's been really, just something that I hadn't expected. So it's kind of actually totally shifted the focus for myself, is not actually meeting another person, but finding myself.
And I know that you've had, since finishing the course, or recently, you've had some experiences dating, and I remember you saying something about it was the first time you've been dating when you didn't feel insane. Is that true? Is that something you would echo?
Yeah, it was really interesting to get back into dating, following on from doing the course and having your support, and then having been part of your summer offering where we were all connecting as a group over the summer, and to get back into dating. It was such a great reflection. A lot of my close friends had even commented how different it had seemed. And yes, it was the first time I've been able to date and have this really grounded awareness upon entering dating. And it definitely felt like the first time I've dated and not felt like I was insane. There was so many previously wasn't aware of some of the patterns that come up when you date, and things that you talk about which really stick in my mind. Dating with craving, the hopium, and me being able to really recognize how I'm feeling and my behavior, and being able to stay grounded and not lost in my head. So it was definitely a much more grounded experience.
Sounds really positive. And obviously, doing something like my course or any work like this requires commitment, requires investment. Would you recommend this as an option for people? And what would you say to people who, are worried about investing in themselves in this way, or questioning whether it's worth it?
I think investing in yourself in this way, which has the potential to completely transform your relationship with yourself, is always an investment worth making. It's not something you can bypass, because you might very well find that why would you need to invest if you're in a relationship? But even if you found a relationship, what's that built on? And I think any investment where you can get the insight into how you have been living your life and the choices you make and the relationships you choose to be in, which are fundamental to like the existence of who we are and how we navigate life. This thing called life is about our relationships with others. So for me, it's a non-negotiable really to invest in yourself, to get support, to understand how we relate to others and how we connect to others, and how our past has impacted us, and how we can move forward in a way that feels far more grounded, authentic, open, and with so much more awareness. And doing it for ourselves, but also doing it for your future relationships and future partners, because it supports everybody. It's like I always find with these, when you do this work on yourself, it has a knock-on effect for others. I've been able to talk to so many people, and also I've been talking to men who I've met and men who are my friends, about the things that I learned on the course. So they might not feel aligned to take the course, but I've been able to share with them the things that I've learned, and they've been really taken aback by it. They're really interested, and they love, like when I've talked about dating with craving and opium, they've really taken it on board, and they've also found that really interesting and helped them reflect on their behavior or reflect on their relationship. So I think this, all doing this work, this helps more and more people. So it always has this a knock-on effect, or a butterfly effect.
Yeah. Sounds like, yeah, it sounds like it's having a great impact on others as well.